Content warning: this song and accompanying visuals contain themes of youth detention. Some material may be confronting or distressing, particularly for people with lived experience of youth detention, out-of-home care, or institutional harm. Please take care while listening and engage in a way that feels right for you.
A system that's been running for over 150 years on children, on containment, on control. Different names, different buildings, same harm. This isn't history. This is repetition. Back in my guild, they built control in a stone and iron frames. Kids were placed inside that system just to keep them contained. Industrial school, overcrowded rooms that never stayed the same. Just different children cycling through a structure built on pain. Punishment came first before care or anything in between. A place that called it reform but never really meant what it means. This is where the pattern starts to lock into its frame. A blueprint written in the treatment these children came to face. Not about healing, more about control and keeping hold. A system built on breaking kids before they ever grow old. And when it shifted outward, it didn't really fade away. It just returned in different form across the coming days. They moved it out to sea in 1880, out of sight. Fitzjames became the answer for overcrowding at the time. A decommissioned ship repurposed by the state of South Australia. Sold as discipline and training, but it failed on every layer. Below deck conditions cramped with no escape or breathing space. Salt and steel replacing anything that felt like safer place. They called it order, called it skill, called it discipline and change, but it was containment, just rebranded in a name. Hell afloat is what it became across the lived accounts, where childhood turned to silence under rules and constant counts. It closed in 1891, but that didn't end the line. My guild was still there waiting for the system to realign. Same control back on the land, same structure, different shell. A cycle that refuses to evolve or break itself. But the different names, but it stays the same design. Different buildings, but the pattern stays in line. They call it reform, but nothing really changes. Just the same old story written out in different stages. From Fitzjames on the water to the scintillating walls. Same control, just wearing different names across it all. And it keeps turning over like it never learns to leave. Just repeating what it is and what it believes. 1947, one house appears. Girls institutionalized through those years. Smaller first and capacity grows. State expands on what it already knows. 1967, my guild renamed McNally on the gate. But the system underneath it never changed its way. Still overcrowded, still a culture built on strict command, where punishment replaced the need to care or understand. Then through the 70s, legislation starts to shift and bend. But for the kids, the outcomes never really came to an end. Say rat came for remand, use an assessment on demand. But children still were held inside a system built to harm. Say tag also ran alongside. Same building, same design, different labels, same direction, same outcomes over time. A cycle of renaming, but no real change inside. Just repetition written through articulate lies. My guild training center came in as the next official name. Same foundations underneath, same approach and same aim. Reports kept coming through about conditions in the place, but the system kept on moving without shifting up its pace. Cabin open after that, another site, another shift. Same containment logic, just repackaged as a lift. Children move between centers like they were part of the flow. Open letters 2009, 40 voices made it known. My guild violated everything it claimed to show. The site closed down in 2012 at last, but the system didn't let go of its past. Nothing in the structure really changed the way it goes. Just new signs on old systems dressed up for show. Collide, tap them in the frame, but same approach below. Isolation, separation, still part of how it goes. Oversight keeps documenting patterns year after year. Staffing shortages, lost education, harm still clear. So what has changed if everything just cycles through the same? Just new names on old systems that never break their chain. Different names, but it stays the same design. Different buildings, but the pattern stays in line. They call it reform, but nothing really changes. Just the same old story written out in different stages. From Fitzjames on the water to the center lights and walls. Same control, just wearing different names across it all. And it keeps turning over like it never learns to leave. Just repeat design, different centuries, same outline. Call it reform, call it change, but it loops right back in another age. 1869 to today's life, same question sits in the night. How many cycles must we relive before we change what the system is?